Hello, this is Team K.E.E. presenting a topic on Joseph Schumpeter, creative destruction, presented by Karen Gallardo, Eni Trevino, and Edward Carrizales. Joseph Schumpeter was an American economist and political scientist. He was one of the most influential economists of the 20th century. Schumpeter studied law at the University of Vienna and graduated with a PhD in 1906. He became a professor of economics and government in 1909 at the University of Czernowitz. After teaching at the university, he joined the University of Graz. He served as the Austrian Minister of the Finance in 1919. He lectured at Harvard University from 1927 to 1930. He then migrated to the United States in 1932, where he died in 1950. The term creative destruction was introduced into the economics mainstream by Joseph Schumpeter in his 1942 book called Capitalism, Socialism, and Democracy. For Schumpeter, who is widely regarded as one of the greatest but most underrated economists of the 20th century, the fundamental principle of capitalism was innovation and the introduction of new technology rather than the perfect competition upon which his colleagues generally focused their attention. He went so far as to state that the process of creative destruction is the essential fact about capitalism. The main idea of this principle is that innovation, which is a type of creation, encourages economic growth and thus is central to capitalism's functioning. But innovation by one company also leads to destruction of the monopoly market shares of its competitors. Creative destruction is the dynamic process inherent in a free market economy of existing products, production techniques, professions, companies, and even entire industries becoming obsolete and dying out as a result of technological advances. Creative destruction is fostered by these technological advances and opportunities that entrepreneurs see to profit from such advances. It continues over time even if the entrepreneurs and others who make decisions about their businesses are not fully aware of it, which is often the case. That is, technological progress and the destruction of existing products, production techniques, professions, business, and industries are intertwined. This relationship is inevitable as the boom and bust cycles that are inherent in an industrial economy and as an inevitable economic growth itself. Not only is creative destruction an inherent feature of capitalistic societies, but it is also extremely beneficial, at least with regards to the economy as a whole. This is because it allows resources to be transferred out of older, less efficient industries into a newer, more efficient industries which improve and or less expensive products. It does play a key role in economic growth, which can, if managed, lead to higher incomes and therefore higher standard of living. Moreover, although creative destruction is largely a result of technological advance, it also helps to promote technological advance, which in turn further promotes economic growth. Of course, there are also costs to creative destruction. While they are often be small relative to the economy as a whole, such costs can be extremely large to those who have to bear them directly, such as the entrepreneurs whose businesses and savings are wiped out, the skilled craftsmen who lose their lifetime investment in their craft, and the ordinary workers who may be too old to find new jobs at comparable wages. Creative destruction has long characterized the economies of the U.S. and other industrialized countries, and there are countless examples of entire manufacturing industries that have been greatly reduced in size or virtually wiped by it. Some of the notable examples that have been affected by creative destruction include candles, mechanical clocks and watches, phonographs, phonograph records, punch cards, teletype machines, steam locomotives, typewriters, vacuum tubes, and whaling. Creative destruction does not necessarily mean that all new things are always superior and old things are always inferior. And many victims of creative destruction do not disappear entirely, but instead they continue and mirror and perhaps have a different role. For example, candles are still produced, but in most of the world only as decorative items, rather than as the main source of lighting. In relation to technology, the computer field, despite its relative youth and in conjunction with extremely rapid development, is littered with examples of creative destruction. They include components such as vacuum tubes, magnetic core memories, and discrete transistors, storage media such as punch cards and 5-inch floppy disks, entire hardware systems such as mainframes and mini computers, operating systems like Amiga and MS-DOS and Macintosh 9, and application programs, as well as occupations and entire companies. For example, the development of the personal computer destroyed most of the mainframe computer companies, including the once mighty Digital Equipment Corporation, and with the notable exception of the highly diverse IBM, replacing it with a much larger and more useful industry. Many industries, products, and professions that are now flourishing are likely candidates for demise by creative destruction in the coming years. They include conventional, such as non-digital cameras and photographic film, cassette tapes, tube televisions, and tube display monitors, and some types of commercial computer software. As we enter the new digital world, this term creative destruction is more and more common due to the fact that everything is evolving in the technological world. We are seeing new inventions that we thought were never possible in the past years. Joseph really hit the nail in the head with this theory. For the years to come, we will be witnessing creative destruction. Thank you for watching our presentation.